All right, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hopefully, I could be heard twice in one day. All praises be to the Creator for another day of life. I pray everybody is doing well. It seems as though sometimes the topics just keep going and going. But this one I wanted to take a look at, and I only just had an opportunity today to check out this show, Atlanta. I've never heard of it before, and they were like, "Oh, he's supposed to have a part in the show, and he's posthumously." That's KS doing. So I said, you know what? Let me finish up this whole session and just go ahead and watch the show. I had a little downtime, so I want to read this article and then I'll let you know my thoughts on what I saw. Even though it's acting and it's a show and blah blah blah, but I found some interesting trigger words in the script. But before we go there, if you've never heard of it, well, welcome to the club. Neither did I. I don't watch much Hulu or any of those things. But when I do get an opportunity, hey, here we are. So let me share my screen. We're gonna take a look at while I'm waiting for long story. Let's just go. If you hear me say I gotta go, my apologies in advance. I'm waiting for these people to come through. Kevin Samuels featured in latest anthology episode of Atlanta. So let's watch the quick trailer, and hopefully YouTube don't give us no problems. And then no, actually I'll read and then we'll watch the quick trailer. So as Atlanta's third season approaches its finale, never heard of it, but you know, there's no question that Donald Glover and the team of creatives behind the FX series are making arguably the most exciting television of the current era. The latest episode, for example, marks the latest entry in the anthology side of the series and notably features an appearance by the late Kevin Samuels. The episode titled Rich Wigga, Poor Wigga opens with the sounds of Travis Scott 2021 single Escape Plan, playing over a panning shot of a bedroom featuring, among other items given screen time, a Post Malone poster and Logan Paul t shirt. My apologies, I don't know who those people are. We are then introduced to the main character of this entry in Atlanta's growing anthology catalog, Aaron. Just as a writer, you said anthology a few times, and we only in the second paragraph, but let's continue. Without giving too much away, Aaron, playing Tariq Withers, is a biracial student of Stonewall Jackson High School who's currently dealing with senior focused concerns of impending college or the potential lack thereof. Right? And so this is the character who's supposed to be a biracial guy. His father is supposed to be black and his mother is white, which I find interesting. We're going to play that in a second, but let's finish reading this article. Samuel shows up in the episode as a quote, very special guest, end quote, at the school. Mr. Robert Shea Lee, that's the name they gave him. He's introduced by a school official as a businessman, philanthropist, philosopher, and Christian, which I found, I ain't gonna say, before giving a speech to an auditorium full of students. In that speech, Samuel's character unveiled his plans of donating 1 million to the school, which he notes will see its name changed to end its current honor of honoring a slave owner. Wait a minute. Hopefully you guys can see because I'm infamous for reading what you cannot see. And sure enough, I'm doing it again. So let me move this so you can see it. The article that I'm reading from here. There you go. I'm infamous for that. Where are we? The new name, the characters explain, will instead honor one of the richest black men this side of the Mississippi, i.e., Lee himself. Elsewhere in the same, and he built. What did he say? On pink shea moisturizer. That was for who wrote that? He built his empire on making. Anyway, elsewhere in the same speech, Lee vows to pay every single black senior's college tuition. To see where the episode, written and directed by series creator Donald Glover, goes, watch it on Hulu. Blah blah blah. Right. Um, and they go on to talk about his passing. So this, let me click this a little bit, and then I want to see who this Donald Glover person is because they're well aware of what's happening and what's going on as a writer. But
I am going to pay every senior's college tuition.
So, well, just a little backstory because I'm gonna ruin it. The spoiler alert if you haven't watched it yet. I'm just giving you 2 seconds. Spoiler alert. So essentially, like I said, hey, what's going on, Judah? The guy he's passing, and he has tuned into his European side. So he has European friends, and he has European girlfriend, and he has European ambitions because the majority of people do not know that he is black or has a black father. Now, when he sees it that it's advantageous for him to code switch, right? He now, because the catch is that you have to be melanated to get access to the scholarship. He now wants to embrace that side. What I find interesting is that when he decides, he finally wait, pause. His father says he's not paying for him to go to college, and so this is what puts him in the bind. And the father says he's not co-signing for the loan. So he feels like he has no other real choice, right? Which happens to many students. Okay. So when I think it's addressing one of the contentions, and ADOS, the actual ADOS was mentioned. I was like, wait a minute, did I just hear what I thought I heard? And so it was mentioned that people who are not quote unquote black or biracial people, and people who are melanated but from other cultures, like from Africa, which is the at the end of the episode, you have a young man who's from Africa who got rejected for the scholarship because he wasn't part of the culture. Okay, so let me play this a little more, and I'll talk some more.
Is auditions for this? He picking was actually black. Could you wait, chicken?
See that part right here, this part right here that we just saw is him explaining that according to what he thinks, and this guy has on a wave cap. Are we serious? And according to what they're looking for, you have to understand quote unquote black culture. So when they go into this room to see whether or not they're black, but do they understand black culture, they're asking them very stereotypical questions, right? You would almost think it was a joke for you to be able, like, what do you mix Hennessy with? And what were some of the other crazy questions? Like, you know, some TikTok type stuff. I just thought that was very weird, but let me continue.
How long can chicken sit on the stove? Holy Spirit or the Holy
Yeah,
Ghost?
how long should chicken sit on the stove? Holy Spirit or the Holy Ghost? Like, this is the test, whoever wrote this, for whether or not you qualify for not the SAT, the BAT, whether or not you qualify to get your tuition paid.
Take this pencil, go make a beat on that table.
You know, take this pencil, make a beat on that table. And it's interesting to see Mr. High Value, participate in a role that would further cast melanated people in a certain light. I find that interesting, especially because the whole conversation was about elevating and high value and all of this stuff right there. But you want the people to debase themselves in order to qualify for what you have to give out. So that was the little promo for it. It's not a long thing. I already had Hulu. That's why I just said, let me watch it. But let me see here. This is him. Hold on. The train is passing. And it's going to be making noise. Welcome to those who just joined us. I just doing a quick review. Okay, there it goes. All right, it's just a quick review while I'm here waiting. So let's see this little portion here. He's upset now. What I find interesting is that the European people or children or young adults are upset, and they're complaining that they don't have access to what so-called black people are having access to, and it's unfair, right? Okay, we don't need all the theatrics. Never mind. This is theatrics. That's theatrics. But I did want to, while you guys are on the line, check out who this Donald Glover person is. I've seen this little young youth's face before. Okay, this is the person who they say wrote and produced this episode. So he would be well aware of what's going on the ground floor. Yeah. If anybody knows more about him, let me know. Again, he's a polymath. Donald Glover is a comedian, actor, writer under the name Childish Gambino. No wonder I've seen his face before. A creator of off-kilter rap and psychedelic soul. Let me just read a little bit about him. So he possibly may have brought in Kevin Samuels for this position. Born September, American actor, rapper, comedian, writer, 30. Uh-huh, uh-huh. I'm just seeing who this person is. Filmmaker. I'm a little bit out the loop sometimes, peoples. Raised as a Jehovah Witness. Father was a pro. Okay, he grew up in Stone Mountain. Okay, there's a lot going on here. All right, all right, all right. I just wanted to see what was going on there because some of the stuff that was written into the script, I'm like, wait a minute, who's writing this stuff? So let me know if you saw the video, if you saw his posthumous, as they call it, performance in. I think that even the other two guys, I wish you should hear the other two guys as they're sitting around the table, laughing at the young man because he's not quote unquote black enough, right? And that's what's happening in on the ground. That's what's happening in real time, that people are using how you grew up to determine if you're black in the first place, and then in the second place if you're black enough. What in the world? And at the end, just to ruin the end of the story for you, I should stop, right? Let me stop. But eventually what happens is a non-ADOS, a non-FBA guy, I think he's from Nigeria, but grew up in America. He ends up showing up to the school along with the not black enough mixed guy to burn down the school that's now in now in the name of Kevin Samuels' character, which I find interesting. And lastly, at the end of the clip, the young man gets shot, the Nigerian, one of Nigerian descent. He and the mixed guy, Aaron, are there, and both of them intend to burn down the school. Now, both of them are fighting each other for who is going to burn down the school, which is interesting. And then at the end, he says, when the ambulance comes, he tells him to take him to White Grady. I'm supposing that's the better hospital. And he kind of, Kevin Samuels' character, kind of slips the ambulance worker some money and tells him to take him to White Grady so that he survives, right? And ultimately gives the Nigerian a scholarship. A lot of this stuff is saying a lot. And then the mixed guy, Aaron, he goes to jail. And then, wait a minute, how could I forget this part? He goes to jail and he's not able to go to school. So now he becomes I guess that's where the Wigga comes in. Now he becomes the the white boy that's passing for black. So they got him working at like Circus City. I don't even know if they have Circus City anymore. They got him working at Circus City, brushing his hair with the wave brush. I was like, who did this? Who did this? But now we know who did this. So that was that. I apologize if I ruined it. I kind of warned you guys in the beginning that I would, to kind of just see where people are going with and just see how things come from our real everyday lives, that division, that polarization, those thoughts, and they make their way into film, right? That people who may never have the opportunity to be exposed to what's going on in the ground, they actually see these things on film. I'm like, did the dude just say ADOS on film? It's interesting he didn't say FBA. Let me know your thoughts real quick, because they didn't pull up yet. I'm trying to remain calm here. Uh, it's interesting. I don't see John in here, but it's interesting they didn't say FBA. You're speechless. So it looks like he was getting well more than prepared after appearing in the Future video And in this episode of this show, that may have been he was about to parlay into that direction. You know what I'm saying? Parlay into the direction of Hollywood and acting and things of that nature. So who knows? Because this episode just came out, I think it was Friday. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I'll put the link in the box. I'm not going to stay long on this one. It just came out. It's like 30 minutes long or something to that degree. Let me see if I'm missing something. Hold on. I forgot my music, y'all. Let me run a little commercial real quick, and I'll be right back. Jamaica woman, I'm a strong Jamaica woman. Yeah, so let's listen to a little bit of what the creator has to say. I'm gonna play a little bit because I never heard this particular video, and let's see if we can glean anything from why he did, because it's always interesting to hear what was in the mind of the producer or the writer. So I came across this video, so let's check a little bit of it out.
All right, guys, who's ready for Atlanta? Great here, Paramount Theater, for the world premiere of season 3 of Atlanta. We hope to talk to the director and some of the actors from the show. So let's go check out.
I didn't even know this show was that big. They're like, woo! Did they gather all these people? I've never heard this show before. I must be getting up there because I'm like, what? I've never. Okay, let's hear him talk because they gave him the microphone. So let's see.
His dream that he had where these hands are pulling him down. And that whole beginning is talking about like how it's like, are people supposed to just lose? Am I just a loser? How do I get out of this? And then now he's got everything he wants. And he has this dream about this kid who's like, who's being told by his mother, like, hey, people still don't care. Like, you still have to watch out for what's coming, like, all the time. And, it's gonna save you in the end. So for me, that's what it means, a lot of it. But, I don't want to just, I guess, like, just define it. Because I feel like, I just want you guys to enjoy it. There's a lot in there. We'll talk about it for a little bit.
I can dig it. So, Hero, I want to ask you a little bit.
Okay, so that was the voice of one of the creators, the writer of it. I guess he's talking overall about some of the overarching themes. He wasn't necessarily speaking to this particular episode. Like I said, let me see when this show started. Now I'm being a little nosy because I've never heard of this show before. I don't watch much out of 90 Day Fiance and the Food Network. Y'all help me. I don't have time. Atlanta, let me see when this thing started. And can they bring back Underground? You know what I mean? I've been boycotting ever since. These people take really long, yo. Ever since they took my show. Really? This show has been running since 2016? How many people in the comment section have heard of this show? Yo, I don't watch TV to backside. I had no idea. Atlanta is an American comedy drama that premiered on September 2016 and FX. That's probably why. The series centers on college dropout and music manager Ernest Marcus Glover and rapper. Never heard of it till just now. You see that? It was renewed for 3rd and 4th season. Premiered March in 2020. Had no idea. No idea. Look at that. Anywho, if you have anything to share, feel free to do so at this time. Introduced in season 3. And you know who actually did that in real time? I don't know if she paid it off, but Pinky Cole, even though I don't like the name of the the way that you have to push sex or illicitness in order to push healthy food, that part right there. I understand why she's doing it, but let me just pull her up and see what she did in real life. So he was playing doing this on the TV, but in real life in recent time, I don't know if you guys have heard of her. Hold on. She started a vegan business 4 years ago, and now she went for, I forget what round of funding it is, and now she's at an $100 million evaluation. Her name is, and she actually teamed with a bank to have all of the graduates be able to incorporate or have their own LLC. So let's take a look at her. Given that we just looked at Kevin Samuels just doing it for fake on the TV, this is somebody who's doing it for real, so that we can end on a high note, shall we? Let me share this here. So Slutty Vegan is the name of the location. Like I said, I understand why she does it, but there's already enough stuff to deal with. Anywho, founder, this is her here. Pinky Cole gifts LLCs to every member of Clark Atlanta graduating class. Right, so we see that he gifted.
In a world where temptation lurks around every corner, a league of baby bell cheese helped us realize.
Yeah, these commercials be getting ruder, don't they? Hold on.
Baby Bell joined the goodness.
Let it.
Graduation ceremony, entrepreneur and alumni. Aisha Pinky Cole is this year's commencement speaker. Very fitting. The former Miss Clark Atlanta is the owner and operator of the plant-based burger restaurant Slutty Vegan. There are 4 brick and mortars across the metro and one slated to open in Athens this month. Clark Atlanta University's commencement ceremony is set for May 14th at Panther Stadium.
So she actually, see the headline here, gifts what they are saying. Can we not, and say we did. Let's read. One of Atlanta's most dynamic recent success stories made a gesture to pay it forward.
In a world where temptation lurked around every corner,
hold on, guys.
A league of baby bell cheese helped
they
us
don't
realize
want
another
me to
snack
do
was
it.
possible.
Come on, man.
Baby Bell joined the goodness.
This page is doing the absolute most. Y'all see it, right? Don't move. Okay. Telling them she wants them, as she did, to fail and then find aspiration in the losses. Pinky Cole, the founder of Slutty Vegan, gifted LLCs to Clark Atlanta University graduating class of 2022, encouraging them to go down the same entrepreneurial path that she has flourished along. Every single graduate in this audience will leave this stadium as a business owner, she said. I find that interesting, right? Ariana Griffin, a CAU Mass Media Arts grad, said she felt amazing to be getting a tool that I know I can use to push me forward, not only in my career, but in life, period. In a commencement address, Cole told the graduates of her own stumbles after she herself graduated from Clark Atlanta in 2009. She spoke of how she reluctantly went to Houston to work for a teaching organization, needing to take any job that came along, and all it took was 5 days for me to realize I was not cut out to be a classroom teacher. From there, she spoke about how she borrowed $40 from a friend and went to the airport not knowing what to do with herself. An airline employee encountered her crying, she said, and went and got her $240 to get her on a plane home. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because 13 years later, the same broken and broke little girl now operates not one, but 2 multi-million-dollar businesses in the middle of a pandemic, Cole told the graduates. I'm telling this to you, the class of 2022, she said, that I want you to fail. And failure, Cole said, is where you can find inspiration. I want you to fail so hard that you become an expert in failure and you get a PhD in failology. She said, it's like Will Smith said, fail forward, right? You just keep trying, keep trying. People think that success is a straight line. It's not. And they think that, oh, you tried that before. I'm experiencing it. People like, oh, you tried that before. You tried this before. Yep. And I'm gonna keep trying too, because one day you're gonna get to where you're going, right? Where am I? I want you to fail because failing is not failing at all. It is finding aspiration in the losses. At the end of her address, she revealed to the graduating class that she had partnered with Varo Bank to purchase the LLCs. Cole told 11 Alive the total cost was more than $400,000. Pinky Cole had a business and lost everything. Everything. My car got repoed, got kicked out of my house, went flat broke, almost lost my mind, almost 4 years later, she now owns and operates at $100 million vegan brand. Okay. She says, if you think she was going to give up because of failure, heck nah, and neither will you. And this is the delivery speech. Okay. And let's look a little bit about. I usually don't talk about it only because I'm proud of the movements, only because of what had to be sold and the way in which it has to be marketed for something to be good. It's kind of like, that's my own personal thing. But for the purpose of this conversation, I'm gonna play it.
I'm Pinky Cole, and this is
With an attention-grabbing name, Cole's business gets noticed.
We sell about 500 burgers a day, and we sell out.
And while the patties on the grill are 100% plant-based vegan burgers, Cole says they taste like the all-beef real deal.
But it's the seasonings that we curate together to really make our food next level. You know what I mean? Because anybody can just eat a patty, a vegan patty. But the seasonings that we associate with it, we add a Caribbean flair, and we use them with southern spice.
When Cole opened in August, customers could only reach her through social media. And after only weeks of quickly growing, Cole turned her ghost restaurant into a food truck.
It's been such an amazing roller coaster ride that we're excited about the direction this is moving. Like, it's just amazing.
Cole's Instagram followers can be seen in video after video she reposts with no one asking, where's the beef?
Is it?
This is like a real burger. This burger. It is.
And this is an older video because she has far excelled this. And if you've been following the trajectory, a lot of celebrities came on board. She got a lot of endorsements in that way. So therefore, a lot of people line up from city to city. And in that respect, for people, making other alternative choices, I'm glad. But on like many things that I see, I'm a little conflicted, because the other side of it is introducing people to things that may not necessarily be the best for them. All right, some people pulled up on me, so I want to thank you for tuning in. I will be back at another time.